The moment the video surfaced, it didn't feel like just another fan post. It felt like a statement. A quiet yet powerful declaration of presence. In a bustling mall filled with countless brands competing for attention, one face stood out above all others. That face belonged to Zhang Linghe, and it was everywhere. At first glance, the clip seemed ordinary. A simple walkthrough, a casual recording of a shopping center. But as the camera moved forward, something unusual became impossible to ignore. Every corner, every screen, every banner seemed to echo the same image. Zhang Linghe's face, calm, confident, and unmistakably dominant. The person behind the video didn't add dramatic commentary. They didn't need to. The visuals spoke louder than words ever could. It was as if the mall had transformed into a curated gallery dedicated entirely to one man. A living exhibition of influence, carefully woven into the fabric of consumer culture. What made the moment even more striking was the sheer variety of brands involved. From luxury fashion to skincare, from electronics to lifestyle products, Zhang Linghe appeared as the chosen ambassador across categories that rarely overlap. This wasn't just brand endorsement, it was saturation. For fans, the reaction was immediate and electric. Comments flooded in, expressing awe, disbelief, and pride. Many joked that the mall had become Zhang Linghe's kingdom, while others pointed out how rare it is for a single celebrity to dominate visual space on such a scale. But beyond the excitement, there was a deeper layer to unpack. This wasn't just about popularity. It was about positioning. Brands don't invest in visibility like this without careful calculation. Zhang Linghe wasn't just being featured, he was being strategically placed at the center of attention. His rise to this level of recognition didn't happen overnight. It was built through consistent performances, a growing fan base, and an image that resonates across demographics. There's a balance in his persona, refined yet approachable, modern yet timeless, that makes him highly adaptable to different brand identities. Watching the video again, you begin to notice the details. The lighting on each billboard, the subtle differences in styling, the way each brand presents him slightly differently while still maintaining a cohesive presence. It's not repetitive, it's orchestrated. Some viewers pointed out how surreal the experience must feel in person. Imagine walking through a mall and seeing the same face greeting you at every turn. It blurs the line between advertisement and immersion, turning a commercial space into something almost cinematic. There's also a psychological aspect at play. Repetition builds familiarity, and familiarity builds trust. By appearing across multiple brands in one environment, Zhang Linghe's image becomes deeply embedded in the viewers, almost subconsciously influencing perception. This kind of exposure speaks volumes about his current standing in the industry. He's no longer just an actor gaining recognition, he's becoming a symbol. A face that represents not just a single product, but an entire lifestyle. The person who posted the video may not have realized the scale of what they captured. But their clip quickly gained traction, precisely because it revealed something organic. It wasn't staged or edited, it was real, and that authenticity made it powerful. As the camera moved up escalators and across floors, the consistency remained. Digital screens lit up with his image. Posters stretched across storefronts. Even smaller promotional displays carried his likeness, reinforcing the same message again and again. It raises an interesting question about modern celebrity culture. In an era where attention is fragmented, how does one individual manage to dominate so completely? The answer lies in alignment between talent, timing, and market demand. Zhang Linghe's appeal isn't limited to one niche. He connects with younger audiences through his on-screen roles, while also maintaining a polished image that appeals to premium brands. That duality is rare and incredibly valuable. There's also the visual factor. He has a face that translates well across different formats, whether it's a high-definition digital screen or a printed banner viewed from afar. His presence holds, regardless of scale or medium. Fans began sharing their own experiences, posting photos from similar locations, confirming that this wasn't an isolated case. In multiple cities, across various malls, the same pattern appeared. Zhang Linghe wasn't just visible, he was dominant. This kind of consistency suggests a coordinated campaign, possibly involving multiple brand deals aligning within a similar time frame. It's a marketing phenomenon that amplifies impact through simultaneity. For casual shoppers, the effect might be subtle but significant. Even if they don't recognize him immediately, the repeated exposure creates a sense of familiarity. By the end of their visit, his face becomes part of their memory of that space. And for those who do recognize him, the experience becomes something else entirely. It turns into a moment of connection, a reminder of the dramas they've watched, the characters they've followed, and the admiration they've built. The video also sparked discussions about the future of celebrity branding. Is this the new standard? Will more actors reach this level of omnipresence, or is this a unique moment tied specifically to Zhang Linghe's current trajectory? There's a fine line between visibility and oversaturation. But in this case, the execution feels deliberate rather than excessive. Each placement feels intentional, contributing to a larger narrative rather than competing for attention. It's also worth noting how seamlessly his image integrates with different brand aesthetics. Whether it's a sleek tech advertisement or a soft, elegant fashion campaign, he adapts without losing identity. This adaptability is what makes him such a valuable asset. Brands aren't just buying his image, they're aligning with the perception he carries, a perception that is carefully cultivated and widely recognized. As the video continues to circulate, it becomes more than just content. It becomes evidence. Proof of a moment in time where one individual's influence reached a visible peak in the physical world. In a digital age, where most fame exists on screens we hold in our hands, seeing that influence translated into real-world spaces adds a different kind of weight. It makes it tangible. The mall, in this context, becomes a stage. And Zhang Linghe, without being physically present, becomes the central figure. It's a performance of presence, executed through imagery and placement. There's something almost poetic about it. A silent takeover, captured in a few seconds of footage, yet carrying implications that extend far beyond that moment. Industry insiders might view this as a case study. A perfect example of how timing, branding, and public image can converge to create maximum impact. For aspiring actors, it's a glimpse into what's possible. Not just fame, but influence. Not just recognition, but dominance in a highly competitive space. The video ends as simply as it began. No grand conclusion, no dramatic reveal. Just a final frame of Zhang Linghe's image, one among many, yet somehow standing above all. And maybe that's what makes it so compelling. It doesn't try to convince you. It simply shows you and lets the reality speak for itself. In the end, what we're witnessing isn't just a viral moment. It's a reflection of a shifting landscape, where the lines between entertainment, branding, and everyday life continue to blur. And at the center of that convergence, at least for now, stands Zhang Linghe, quietly, confidently, and quite literally everywhere,